Fuck that shit. That's where it's at. Whoops. Hello. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I just got back from a movie called Antlers. This movie's been out a few days. I went to the theaters. I said, let's see what's playing. What's playing? Okay. Wow. What is this crap? Eternals pass. I wanted to see a horror movie. You know, y'all, if you saw my video on Halloween Kills, you know I was very disappointed in Halloween Kills. You can watch my review if you want to see why. I wanted a good horror film. I wanted a film that could be not only, you know, scary, so, you know, maybe jump a few times, but I wanted a film that has a really strong story, good acting, just not stupid. That's all I want. Something like a good, solid horror movie. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a solid horror movie. Holy shit, I got that and then some. This movie really surprised me. It was really good. I was just, didn't even think it was going to be close to this good. I got more than I was hoping for. In the back of my mind going in, I'm like, very well could suck. Could be worse than Halloween Kills. Instead, I thought this is the best horror film I've seen and I don't remember when. Definitely the best horror film of the year so far. This film stars Keri Russell as this school teacher, and she notices one of her students is a little bit troubled. You know, maybe he has some problems at home. She doesn't know the half of it.
No animal that I've ever seen.
Something is going on with Lucas. These drawings belong to a student of mine.
This is what was in the mine. It's a diabolical spirit.
So I'm going to stay away from major spoilers here. We'll talk about the plot a little bit, but no major spoilers here. So I want you to go see it if you haven't seen it because I think you're going to enjoy it. It's really awesome. Not perfect. I'll get into the negatives, but there's not too many. Overall, I thought this was a great horror movie. It is a Wendigo movie. So the Wendigo story, not too familiar with it. Kind of the man who has this feast to feed on other humans, gets this insatiable hunger, becomes an absolute beast. And that's where we, you know, with the antlers, and that's what we have here. But I have to say, this movie does have a message. There is an exploration of abuse, drug abuse, and physical abuse. And that is kind of the overall commentary, if you will, that's in this movie. But the good thing is, by no means, and at least for me, it doesn't bang you over the head with a hammer with it. You know, some may disagree with that at times, but overall, I didn't think it was, I thought it was pretty well written. I thought that they were able to write a really good horror movie and then just kind of weave some of that into it and actually make sense within the plot, not unlike the original Candyman movie and, you know, the commentary that they had in that movie, but they also gave us an awesome horror film. I see a lot of similarities here in the way that they made this movie. Wasn't preachy, wasn't over the top with it, but yeah, you can't really miss it if you watch this movie. You just can't miss it. It's part of the film. It's part of the characters. It's part of the Wendigo. But it all makes sense, just like in the original Candyman. It all makes sense. The movie also stars Jesse Plemons as her brother, and he's like a police officer named Paul. I don't know if he's sheriff or a police officer in this Oregon town. I think he's awesome in the movie, and I love his character. His character's kind of the straight character, the cop. Got to go by the book. Hey, we got to get a warrant here. We got to wait a couple days. Things take time. And you also kind of get that exploration how, you know, police officers and the law, it takes time. You got to go step by step and it's all, you know, but meanwhile, supernatural crap is happening and, you know, stuff is happening to this girl's students. So she's like, no, what are you doing? We got to do something here. But, you know, he doesn't believe in the supernatural crap. He's like, no, calm down. What do you want me to do? Okay. I put in the paperwork for, you know, a warrant. Now we have to wait until it gets approved now. But the star of this movie was this child actor. And child actors can certainly make or break a movie. Usually break. But this kid named Jeremy T. Thomas as a Lucas, absolutely perfect in the role as this kid who's kind of strange, disturbed, for obvious reasons. We actually root for this kid. Even though he's you know, kind of a creepy looking, but not in a scary way. We know what he's dealing with. We know what he's going through. We know why he looks like that. And he's in a horrifying situation. And it is the actor, he's just the way that the look on his face, such a serious kid and what he's going through. I just don't know what else to say, but he is absolutely awesome. This kid really makes the movie. I mean, if you had a terrible child actor, it would have really hurt. But no, the acting across the board, awesome in this movie. It's also got a great score, little piano, creepy, awesome. Cinematography, I'm sure that a lot of the reviews, even the negative reviews, will at least give a shout out for the cinematography. Absolutely stunning here. Great shots, great framing, great panning. Everything is just gorgeous. I mean, great color choices. I say gorgeous. Sometimes it's scary as all hell, but in a beautiful way. And the special effects, holy shit. I believe they have to be practical. If not, holy crap, man, CGI has come a long way because this stuff looked absolutely real. I'm talking bodies that have been mangled and completely torn up, but they look absolutely genuine. You got a corpse that's, well, used to be a human, but a Wendigo actually came out of this human. So what's left there is just a husk of a body. I don't know what that was, but it was very effective. I mean, so some body horror here, some real horror, some scary moments here. Not a whole lot of cliche stuff. I'll get into some in the negatives. But overall, a very intelligent, scary, creepy movie. Lots of good suspense. So many moments. I'm like this. Oh, shit. And that's what you want in a horror movie. You want to be horror. You want to feel some horror. Feel scared, even as an adult. Yeah, we don't feel as scared as we did when we were kids, but a good horror film will still have some suspense there where you're kind of like, what the hell is going on? And there are some jump scares, and that term is kind of got a negative connotation here lately because movies like to put 800 fake out bullshit jump scares you see coming from a mile away. This film, there's a couple like literal jump scares that are not fake outs. They are real. There is a monster. There is absolutely a moment that you don't see coming. You can't see coming. I can't spoil it because you won't see it coming. You'll just be watching. You'll be a little tense. And then boom! And there's at least one moment where my whole body kind of went back like, oh my, that never happens to me. That hasn't happened to me in years. So shout out to this movie. It just, yeah, those couple of jump scares were legit jump scares. Like scared the hell out of me. There was also a couple of scenes earlier in the movie where I thought some cliche thing was going to happen, but the opposite happened. And so I really like that. Now, some cliche things happened later, so I'll say that. But there was a moment earlier in the movie where someone was going into a scary situation and you're thinking like, okay, a normal horror movie, they're going to keep on moving forward despite all these signs to get the hell out. Here we go. Now it's going to get a little cliche. But sure enough, this person sees some blood, some scary noise. Guess what she does? Gets the hell out of Dodge. Fuck this shit. Got the keys and drove off. I'm like, damn, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you would really act. As for negatives in this movie, there is a third act where so far I'm so impressed with the movie. I don't know where it's going to go. I really have no idea where it's going to go. I know where a cliche normal horror movie would take it. And that's pretty much where it took it. And I know that some of it has to do with the message. And that's the only area of the movie that maybe that hurt because they're like, okay, we have to have, and I don't want to spoil it, but we have to have this happen for the message to really, hit home or whatever. But what you ended up having was a kind of a predictable and just unrealistic ending. Happened too quick. And it was like, no way. But they kind of make up for that for the very last shot of the movie, a little twist at the end, which they had to have that. If that wasn't there, that very last shot of the film, if they didn't have that, it would have been a really disappointing third act. But that kind of redeemed it a little bit. And because the movie was so awesome, other than that, I thought that, I give it a pass. I still think this is a really awesome horror film. And to be honest, I don't know how else they could have ended it. Other than that, so I'm not saying I have a better idea. I certainly don't. And I'm sure they tried to think of one. I'm sure they were trying to write some stuff and maybe just none of it was working. They're like, look, we just have to we just have to do it this way. Because I really don't know what else they could have done. I'm sure there's something they could have come up with, though, because there's some possibilities, but, it really had to be fleshed out and it could have really got me. If that third act was as great as the first two acts, like the act one and then the opening and then the middle of the movie were both amazing. If that last act did the same and was just as good, This, I would say this has to be an absolute masterpiece and one of the best horror films I've ever seen. But it didn't quite bring it home as well as I hoped. That's the only thing I can say. It wasn't bad. It wasn't trash. It wasn't like, oh God, this is embarrassing. Nothing like that. It was just like, really? We're just going to do this? Oh, okay, I guess. So that holds it back a little bit for me. But overall, this is certainly the best horror film of the year so far. I haven't seen every horror film of the year. I'm trying to see more of them. And really keep up with the horror films because I'm a huge fan of horror, as you know from the channel. But anyway, this movie, despite that third act being a little bit of a letdown, overall, this movie, Antlers, was freaking awesome. I was super impressed with this film, and I can't get into maybe I'll do a spoiler review if this gets more than 20 views, but we'll see how it does. But let me know if you enjoyed this video and you want me to do a spoiler. Let me know below, and I'll do one. But other than that, this movie, freaking awesome. Really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend you check it out. Jesse Plemons is awesome. Keri Russell is really good, but that little kid, Jeremy Thomas, holy crap, man. He really knocked it out of the park. Home run. It gets a little tropey and cliche heavy at the end in the third act, and that's the drawback. That's the thing I didn't like about it. But really highly recommend it. I mean, hey, can't be perfect. What can you expect this day and age? I'm thrilled with this movie. We'll be buying this one on Blu-ray, 100%, 4K, baby. Bring it on. Whatever you got, bring the poster, get the merch, get the t-shirt. I'll take it all. This movie's awesome. You guys have a great day. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that subscribe button. And we will talk to you next time.